Hi everyone, back again with another little assembly video for you for the latest MDF release from Lisa Horton Crafts. This little project is a shadow box TV. So what you'll notice that I have painted some of mine ahead of time. So what you'll get when you get your kit is a piece of MDF with 2 slots in, and that's where your word will slot in if you so wish. You can add it somewhere else if you want to, but personally mine's going on the top, so that's what I'm going to be using. I'll show you that in a little while. There's an aerial for the top of the TV, that's also got a notch in it, so there'll be a slot in the top of the box part that slots into. And then you'll get these 4 little pieces. Do not lose these, don't throw them away, because they're an integral part of the kit, and you'll see what I mean when we come to that in a little while. So just put those to one side. Then you obviously get the frame with the TV hole in it, and that's the back of the set. And then you get the 4 pieces which actually make up the shadow box. Okay, now as I said, I've painted mine ahead of time. Now you'll notice on here that there's a little arrow. I don't know whether you can see that. See that little arrow there? That's telling you that this is going the same side as this. So that notch will match up with that notch there, that little hole. Okay, and you'll see why later. Now what I would suggest is that you make up the box part of this before you use any of these. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, and you'll see there's a notch one end and a slot the other, and that's just to make them easy to put together. Okay, so back to using my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. I swear by this stuff. I don't know what I'll do when I run out. Gonna have to try that bookbinding glue that Lisa uses, I think. So what I would do is I would put your glue on all the parts that you know you're going to need glue on, which is all the little recesses here, so that when you come to put it together you can just slot it together and leave it to set. Not that it'll take very long to set, it won't, because this glue is amazing. But I just think if you do all the pieces first, then you're not going to be messing around trying to glue and hold things together at the same time. You'll see what I mean. Okay, so making sure that your painted side is always the same way, you will put together the framework of this little box. So this side is going on here, and just hold that for a couple of seconds just while it takes a little bit. I'm going to actually stand it on its side to put the last piece in. I'm just going to slot that in there like that, and slot it in there like that. Okay, now you can see it's a little bit wibbly wobbly. Don't worry about it, because once you put it into the front of the TV and you've got the back on, that's not going to move, and this glue, once it's taken, is pretty sturdy, to be fair. So when you're putting this together, you'll notice that one of the longer pieces has got a slot in it. Okay, that slot is where you're going to put the aerial in. Now if you want the aerial behind your word, then put this slot at the back. If you want the aerial in front of the word, put it the other way around and put the slot at the front. Okay, I'm putting mine at the back because I want the word behind the aerial. Okay, so I'm going to turn that upside down, and then I'm going to put my glue on here so that I can slot it into place. I'm doing the front first because I want to put some decoration on the back here so that it's looking into the TV. Okay, so I just put my glue on here. In all the recessed parts, so that the notches have got no glue on them. Okay, and then to make sure that the slot is at the back, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front on this way. Now you'll see I've already painted this, and I decided to go with the copper to fit in with the rest of this. I've used something different on the rest of the TV. So I'll just locate those notches, which is a little bit fiddly but not impossible. There you go. Once it's found those the notches have found those holes, it is pretty easy to locate. There you go. Okay, so there you go. Now you can see why I've painted the inside black, because obviously my design that's going inside is not going to sit right at the front, so I didn't want bare wood showing through the screen of the TV. Okay, so that's that piece. Now before we put this on, I'm just going to decorate the inside. Now remember I said this arrow here showed you that this is going to locate on this side. So you're locating this notch with this side of the TV. Okay, so that there's a gap this side and there will be a gap this side. Okay, but before I just put that on, I'm just going to put the decoration on that I've done for the inside. Now as I said, I've used the collateral rust papers, and oh my word, these are superb papers. And what I've done is I've cut out one of the trucks off one of the sheets, and I've cut the piece of designer paper that I want in the background. So basically what I've tried to do is have the truck outside the garage. Okay, and all I've done is use a little bit of card and made a sort of a frame for that to sit on, so that it lifts it and it makes it look 3D. So I'm just going to add my glue to my papers and then put that in the back of the TV. So what you're actually looking at is an American show about trucks outside gasoline stations, because that's what they call them, isn't it? Not petrol stations. They don't have petrol in America, do they? Gasoline. Anyway. So I've cut the paper so that it sits just inside those holes there, so that when I come to place this onto the top of it, those holes are still going to be clear for me to pop this on. Okay, so then I'm going to pop this on the back here like that. Okay, but I'm going to do it this way round and put it this way. So again, I'm going to put the glue on the recessed parts of this frame here. Okay, so I'm just going to add this here like this. And I'm not being funny, when you get these kits from Lisa, sometimes you take them out of the pack and you think, oh, looks a bit complicated to me, this. I don't know whether I've done the right thing. But seriously, they're not difficult. They might look a little bit intricate sometimes, but they really aren't difficult to do. So I'm just going to locate this on the box frame. Now the back should go on a lot easier than the front did, because obviously it's already in place, as it were. And the only thing that's going to make it difficult is because I've painted, I may have got paint inside the little holes where the notches go. And sometimes, because MDF swells when you get paint on it, it can take a little while to just locate it into place, but it will go. Okay, you hear all that click into place. Okay, So there you've got my little van outside the petrol station. I think that looks quite cool. I'm quite pleased with that. And then obviously, if you wanted to, you could put a little set of lights in here so that it illuminated the background a little bit. Okay, so when I said to you, don't lose these little pieces are the dials for the TV. See, thinks of everything. And what I would do is I would put the glue just inside the little hole on these, place it down on your desk, and then slot the shaped piece inside like so. And you can wipe off the glue run's not going to show, and then you can stick that down on the front of the TV where Danny has already made the marks for you to show you where it's going to go. Okay, and you can have them exactly the same as though the TV's off, or you can put them so that one dial is a little bit different to the other. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to have the top one at a different angle to the bottom one, I think. And you see how that slots beautifully into place there. So I'm going to have that one at a different angle, like that. So I've got my sound halfway up and I'm on a different channel, and that's so cool. Now for the sides, I've actually cut some pieces of collateral rust. I've cut them made to measure. I should have actually put them on before I put the sides on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those till afterwards, and I'm going to put those on after I've finished filming, because they probably need trimming down a tiny little bit. So just to finish off the main parts that you will get in your kit, I'm not going to glue these pieces on because once I've put these papers on, and you'll see I've already cut out the little notch on there so that fits, and my aerial is going to go in there no problem. Okay, but I'm going to put those papers on afterwards. So your aerial will go in there like that. Okay, and then your word can sit at the front, and that's the reason I put the hole at the back, because I didn't want the aerial to interfere with where I've got my word. You can either put it to one side, or you can put it in the middle, put it to this side. It's entirely up to you. If you want it the other way around, as I say, obviously the front of the TV will be like that. Then you could put it behind the aerial if you wanted to, but I just think it detracts from the word a little bit that way. So that's why I've put mine slightly to one side and the aerial at the back. But I think you'll agree that although it looks a little fiddly, and it can be a bit fiddly to just locate the pieces into place, it's not difficult and it's not impossible. It's a quick project. It's a little bit more detailed and a little bit more involved than some of the other kits that Lisa's brought to you, but it's no more difficult, trust me. And it's such great fun. And I think once I've put the papers on, I will also just paint the inside of this frame, and I'll probably do that black so that it doesn't I don't want it the same colour as the front, so I'll probably do that black. But I think you'll agree, whatever you decide to put in here and however you decide to decorate it, it's going to be a centrepiece for you to keep for a long time to come. You can even put photographs in there and make it look like a little theatre even. And talking of theatres, if you watch the little montage of projects at the end, you will see why I came up with that suggestion. Some super projects again from the DT, and I think you'll agree that this can be used in a number of ways. I hope you enjoy using it if you order one. I hope you enjoy the show. Please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. All of these videos will remain on there, all the DT live videos, there's some extra little videos that some of the other DT members have done, and of course Lisa's update videos will also be on there. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.